Okay, hello all. It's 2 o'clock. I'm just going to do a quick roll call just to make sure that we do have most people back from lunch. Board Member Booth, I already saw you there. Board Member Cannon. Board Member Klein, I see you. Board Member Davis. See you. Board Member Earl, see you. Board Member Hanson, I see you, and Maisie.
Here we go.
Board Member Hart, I see you. Chair Huntsman, I see you. Board Member Hutchings. Maybe she hasn't made it yet. Board Member Hymas, I see you. Board Member Lear, I see you. Board Member Moss.
I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Board Member Norton.
I'm here.
Great. Board Member, I see you, Board Member Straight. So Board Member Cannon. Okay, well, we do have a quorum, so we're going to go ahead and start. I'm going to turn the time right now because we had to move this agenda item to Chair Huntsman for the chair's report. Chair Huntsman, you ready?
Yes. Do we have somebody driving? I've got like 3 slides.
Okay.
We'll just start with that first one there. My board members, or my chair's message today, I was trying to think what was appropriate. And there's lots of different things to talk about. You know, there's school safety, there's a lot of things happening, but I went to this place celebrating this 21-22 school year, and as many of you guys are engaged, we've got one member to a graduation. Closing the year out is really, really important, and it's an important time of year. There's lots going on. If you stay up on Instagrams and Facebook and everything that's happening in your own personal life and a whole bunch of other people, it's all about the celebration and rituals of closing out a school year. Next slide. Yeah, one of my favorite. I look forward to it. In fact, my daughter's been doing this. I think this is year number 10. Is field day at Midway Elementary School, and she's in charge of it. And every year it gets a little bit bigger and more grandiose. It's just not a typical field day. I look forward to it just because I like to be of service to my daughter, who's an educator. But I enjoy the faculty. I enjoy this Midway Elementary is in Wasatch School District, but more so I look forward to the joy and happiness that these kids have, and then their parents. A lot of parents come out on field day and watch their kids progress and get engaged. It's good community engagement. The highlight of this that I look forward to, and then I kind of had a highlight this year, is the 5th grade is a grade that's the last grade in the school. I think this might be one of Member Moss's pictures, but this is a tractor pull. Can you imagine kids in elementary school getting involved in a tractor pull? Those legs look like they could be mine, but they probably are. I'm up there on that tractor, but if you look to your lower left, there's a young man sitting there. That's a 5th grader, and there's a bunch of 5th graders on both sides. They're watching the line. They're in charge of safety. They're timing these events. And at this elementary school, the 5th graders are in charge of putting on all of these events for their peers and the rest of the class. And every year it just gets a little bit better and better of how committed these older elementary kids are. They're just like faculty. They're making sure everyone's safe, everyone's having a good time. They're leaders in their school at the rite of passage, and they're now getting ready to move on to being the underclassmen or the newbies in a new school, but they finish strong. At this particular field day, I didn't get a lot of pictures or anything to share with you, but these 5th graders at the very end, they get to attempt at their teachers. The 5th grade teachers are in a dunking kind of a dunking booth, a dunking pool. They throw baseballs and they get to watch them squeal in that really cold water. And it's kind of cold up there this spring, and they get to participate in that. And then at the end, the faculty try to put the principal in. But the one thing that made this a little bit more on the special side is, member Moss joined me in setting this up and taking orders and supporting the cause here. But I think he's the one guilty of this particular picture that made it into here. And I want to thank him for participating there. I believe his 5th grader, is that correct?
Yep.
Remember Moss, this is his last year at a really awesome elementary school. Next slide, please. It's just not a field day, but there's graduations. We see it in the celebrations and the euphoria and the joy and the happiness in these kids' faces is when they leave. They graduate from preschool and then they're headed to kindergarten, or they leave kindergarten, they're going into 1st grade, or they leave the elementary school or the middle junior high school. And then of course the ultimate is high school. Now every school seems to be unique in its rituals and celebrations, but the one thing they have in common, there are completers, and they become completers and they're moving on to something different with the help and support of parents, fellow peers, and a lot of people that are committed to public education. And so I just want to take a little bit of time to just reflect, or have you reflect on this busy time of year with concerts and programs and of course field days. A few of us, and I didn't pull up some pics, but I know that all of you have got them. I was able to go to our Utah schools for the deaf and blind graduation at their Ogden campus, and it was fun having member Hymas and member Straight there also, to be able to visit with the parents and also witness the joy and euphoria of these unique individuals as they've taken on a lot of challenges in life, as you can know, with the challenges of the deaf and blind, and be able to move their tassel across their hat at their graduation. It was a really special day for me to be able to be there. It was really special to the students and their parents, but more so their teachers and their lifelong friends that have helped them along the way. And it makes it all worth it as we finish out the school year, and we're regrouping. We spent quite a bit of time. Now we're preparing for another legislative session, getting ready for more ahead of us. I want to make sure I recognize the teachers in that are pretty well exhausted and administrators when it comes to this point. They're ready for a little pause, but their mind is already set up for what happens in the fall, and they're thinking preparation. I know my girls that are in education, yeah, they're glad the school year's over, but they're still on their computers. They're still getting ready. I go, what are you doing? Well, we're working. Their work is never done. So I give a shout out to all the educators that made this year-end close joyous and very memorable for the students of Utah. So this concludes my report. I want to thank you, board members, also recognize you as you move policy forward, and the good stuff and the betterments that are necessary as we're in the education business. I see your fingerprints on a lot of things that are happening in the schools. So thank you for your service. Madam Chair, this concludes my report.
Thank you, Chair Huntsman. I love graduation time of year. So thank you so much.